everyone, it's Johnny from Woodworking with 5 Tools. Today I'm going to show you how to build this beautiful, gorgeous, amazing flower box out of 300 years old oak beams. We're going to not do it in this style, but we're doing it with an invincible attachment to the wall that you won't see anything, you won't see any screws. So you're just seeing this beautiful oak beam flower box. First of all, we're going to take a look at the materials that we need today. I'm starting with this wood beam, normal oak beam. Of course, it's 300 years old, pretty rare material, but you can take any wood beam that you have laying around. Second thing is this construction foil. We just need this foil to protect the wood from the water when we are watering our flowers. You can also use pond liner. This is maybe even better because it is prepared for water. The third thing actually is this furniture connector. This is for like connecting this wood beam to the wall. The only weak point of these connectors actually is that you only can take 4mm screws, because when the head of the screw is too big, the connector won't get into the other part. So for that reason we can only take 4mm screws, which is not so great. For the wood itself, it doesn't make any difference because this 3.5cm screws are totally enough. But for the wall and for the wall plugs, I'm not 100% sure. We will see. So I took longer wall plugs as usual. Normally you take these in 3cm length, but I chose some in 4cm length. And I chose them from Fisher, which is of course a great company for wall plugs. And we have these 4 screws which are 6cm long, because with these Fisher wall plugs you always have to be a little bit longer than the wall plug itself. Alrighty, finished with that, I think we can take a look at the tools that we need today. Let's talk about the tools that we need. Pretty simple, normal chainsaw. You can take also an electric chainsaw. And I made myself a little guide. I had to do it by my own. I couldn't find any on the internet, but it's pretty simple. It's just for diving into the wood beam with a specific size in depth. When we're finished with the chainsaw, we have this angle grinder with a normal saw blade cutter. Then we need the drill for drilling the wall plugs, the holes for the wall plugs. Then we need a staple or a machine tucker, whatever you want to call it. This is just used for the construction foil. Last thing is the router. Router itself, we use it every time, literally in every build. So we need this for the template, and we need to router out the holes for the furniture connectors into the wood beam. I think that's it, and we could start with the build. It's gonna be complicated, I'm sorry for that, but we have a wood beam which is not leveled. It is hand cut and hand crafted, I guess, 300 years ago. They didn't have any chainsaw, they hadn't any sawmill. So we need to deal with that, and this is difficult, of course. So we need to do a template which is not 1.9cm thick. It also can be 2 or 1.5, but we need this depth so that the template which goes on here is stable in itself. Because if it would only be 1cm, if we would put 4 screws in here, it would bend. And we need this template for a perfectly leveled surface. It's not a surface, but we are routing out the holes here for the furniture connectors. And these holes have to be perfectly leveled, because if we would screw these furniture connectors right onto this wood beam, it wouldn't fit. So when you would put this thing on the wall, it wouldn't fit at all because it's not leveled. So this is the reason why we are doing this template, and this is a little bit difficult now, but I'll try to be as clear as possible. So we have 1.7 centimeters, and I have a router bit which is 1.2 centimeters. So I'm using a cheap router bit without a cutting edge. Normally I would recommend to use one with a cutting edge, but for this wood beam is 300 years old and when you would take an expensive router bit, you would have to sharpen it afterwards, and this is like really expensive. And I have a copy ring, which is 2.4 centimeters. That means the hole in my template should be 1.2 centimeters bigger than the hole that I want to actually router out. So for the size of my furniture connectors is 1.7, and I have to do 1.2 more. We need the size of 2.9 centimeters. And the length of these connectors, it's not enough to have only one of these lengths. For example, like this, and this is 11.3 plus 1.2, which we have to do more because of the copy ring. We are at 12.5. And now we need to router out this hole, and we need to make ourselves a template for the template. Of course, sounds stupid, but it is the way it is. When you're working with old wood beams like this, you need to do it. So, I took my MFS 400. You can actually take a look at the video up here where I show you how to make a template like this. But I'm using now this MFS 200, and I'm doing this with my copy ring, which is 2.4 centimeters, and a router bit, which is 2 centimeters. That means my MFS 200 has to be 4 millimeters bigger than the hole that I actually want to router out. So we're finished with routing out the holes for our template, and now I've put already this template on here. So this is the part which is on the wall, of course, and I'm putting 4 screws in here just to secure the template from moving around. So you can also check if it's square and if it's like, if the lineup is great. For me, I already did this, the lineup is great and it's nearly square, so I'm pretty happy with this. If it's not square, you can take some of these spacers and put them underneath the template on which side you need them. Alrighty, I'm taking this cordless screwdriver or drill and I'm just screwing it down. So don't use too much power with your cordless screwdriver or drill because you want to prevent bending your template, okay? So you have to avoid that your template is bending a little bit because you want a perfectly leveled surface, okay? So I'm be really careful that everything is stable, but it's not bending. And I can still check this like with this, and as you can see, it's still super nice leveled. So this thing is stable. Now I can take the router and we will make the holes with this router bit in here. So I'm going like maybe around 8 millimeters in depth. You shouldn't go deeper than your furniture connector itself. So this is the maximum that you should go, because when you're going deeper, there's no possibility to connect this whole thing to the wall. So I think this is 1.2 centimeters, so I'm going for 8, and then there will be 4 millimeters between the wall and the wood beam. So I'm happy with that. So let's try if they're fitting. Yeah, fits perfectly. So we're finished with the routing process. Now we will use our chainsaw. To everyone out there watching this video, you should do a training. Of course, it will cost you 150 bucks, but it's a lot safer to use a chainsaw with a training. I did this for 2 days. Actually, it was a great training. One day in the class and the other day in the forest, and I actually took some trees of this size down. So I'm a person, of course, I'm running my own furniture business, who's saying like, I don't need a training for a chainsaw, but afterwards I have to admit it was good that I did this training, because there are people who will tell you how to safely deal with a chainsaw. So please do that. I made this grid up here, these lines. Of course the outside of these lines I measured with this square, but the inside I did on purpose because there are some nails in here and I don't want to get to these nails with my chainsaw. So I did the lines around these nails. As I told you in the beginning, I did this thing up here, which you can see. It's just that you can be sure that you're not going deeper than, in my case, 18 centimeters, because I don't want to go deeper than 18 centimeters. Of course, you can do this free-handed without this thing. I already did with the other one that I will show you later, but this is a lot easier. So, one thing left. If you're not doing this training for chainsaw, I'm only giving you one advice, how to do it safely. So with the chainsaw, you should only dive in, only down here, up to here. If you're diving in with this quarter or with this section of the chain, the saw will jump away, okay? So this is pretty dangerous. So please, if you're not doing the training, first of all do the training, but if you're not, I know that some of you are not doing the training, so please don't dive in with this area of the chain. Alrighty. Wear a chainsaw, trousers, whatever it is, for safety reasons, and wear a helmet, not a helmet, some glasses and stuff. Okay? Now we will do that. Super nice. This is what we wanted. So I've gone a little bit too far on this side and on these sides, but this is not so bad, because now we take the angle grinder with the cutting blade, and I'm gonna make this really smooth. So I'm going a little bit further than I've just gone now, and nobody will see. Pretty happy with the result. Now there are two options. I'm so sweating. There are two options. First one is with the chisel. Second one is just taking the axe. I'm gonna show you both of them. So this is the example with the axe. You can just like hammer in here and try to get them out. This, just like this. And when you're finished with that, you can take the chisel for the more precise work. So we're checking everything out. Oh no, this is bad. Now we're getting to the point. This is actually what we wanted, so I'm going for this one and for these a little bit more with the chisel. And after that I will take the cutting blade on the angle grinder and make my way up to here. But we don't have to be that precise, because after this we will put the construction foil in and nobody will see what's actually underneath here. Alrighty, now I'm taking the angle grinder with this blade on. So please wear like gloves or something like this, and please be careful. Like, this is like a saw blade, so you can cut your fingers off, you can do anything, so please be careful. And of course take this. Never use a blade like this without this fence, okay? Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll. This is what it looks like. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with the result. What I'm now doing with both of these, just the 2 first centimeters, pretty nice, because apart from that everything is with the construction foil. So last step in this build, then the foil, then we're finished, okay? People, we're done. I'm sweating and it's warm and it's dusty, but anyway. So we're finished. You can see the result. Of course I only did the first 2 centimeters in a nice way, not super nice, but for that I brought you this. This is like from a recent project. I was doing this just for fun to try how it works. And here you can see everything is sanded nice and like, of course, this is up to, I think, 180 grit. So here you can see how to do it when you want to be really, really precise. But in this case, I don't want to be that precise, so I'm taking this away and I'm taking the construction foil and putting it in. So, and I'm starting my way up here. Perfect. So you shouldn't be that high, so you won't see it, but also not that low, because of course you're making holes in this foil. So you should avoid that water is coming up there. So now I'm taking a knife. And as I said, these first 2 centimeters I want to see, but underneath I'm cutting this foil out. So this is what it looks like. Huh? And of course, if it's not sticking, then you can make some more of these. This is what it looks like. You can see the result. I mean, it looks pretty good in my eyes. Next step is we will put soil in, we will put cacti in, because I don't want flowers that need so much water, because I'm not 100% sure about this protection. So I'm taking cacti or a cactus, I don't know how to say it. But for today we're finished. We will see each other at my office in a couple days, where we install this thing.
One eternity later.
Everyone, welcome to my office. Alrighty, so because these 2 furniture connectors are actually sticking pretty... Oh,